Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of my podcast, guys. A Moment with Erica B, the Life Changer. I know we got the government shutdown going on. I know we got so many things happening in this world. And I'm just encouraging you guys to do a wellness check. Check on your friends, check on your parents, check on your family members, your sister, your brother. Guys, check on that person that you have not called in a while and just ask them how they're doing. See how they're doing, see what's going on with them, because you know what? That goes a long way. Even if you go outside and just go knock on your neighbor's door and say, I just wanted to check on you. I wanted to see if you needed anything, because you just never know. And I believe that that's what the Father wants us to do in this time is, check on your strong friends as well. Check on that one that's, that never really, he just seems strong all the time and they don't say much. You know what I'm saying? Or when they do call you or when they do talk to you, it's always to encourage you. It's always for you to lean on their shoulder. So check on your strong ones. Just do a wellness check with your family members and your friends, guys, because it goes a long way. So the first thing that I wanted to cover, guys, that I want to do is I want to give you the word. The word says to trust in the Lord, and this is what he gave me in my spirit, guys, and I want to share it with you. The word says to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. When the Most High seems silent, that is just him working on you. I remember a time in my life where I was applying for so many jobs, guys. I call this the spiritual peak season. I was applying for so many jobs, and I remember the door closing on me, guys. I mean, it was no door open in sight, and I could not figure out what was going on. And it was really just the Father showing me that, hey, and this is what he told me in prayer, I'm working on you right now. I don't want you working. This is why the doors are shutting on you, because right now I have you on arrest. So again, when things seem silent, that is the Father working. And that is your time to educate yourself spiritually. That is your time to feed your mindset. And I know sometimes you feel alone, but think of this analogy. When a woman is birthing, you have the doctors around, you have the nurses around to help her push that baby out, right? Sometimes you can feel like there's nobody to help you push. But I want to tell you this. Remember, the baby still comes regardless. The woman still knows that her bundle of joy is coming. So you have to know in yourself that your dream is still going to be pushed out regardless of who is around. Your vision is still going to come into plain sight regardless of who's with you and who's not. One thing that you have to do is stand strong in your faith. Remember, the word says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So I know you know those lyrics, let her cook, right? So this is your time to cook. This is your time to educate yourself spiritually and in the natural state. This is your time to feed your mindset. Not with junk, not with drama. That is your time to go back to the drawing board. Feed your mind daily with things that only build you and not tear you down. And not tear your mindset down. Things that will not tear your body down. The Father would simply tell me that you need to rest. I remember having a dream where I was driving a car, guys, and the car started slowing down. And I couldn't shift gears. I couldn't put it in drive. It was like it was in neutral or something. And it was going extremely slow. And the Father was telling me, because I need you to slow down. Sometimes we can be going in life and not realizing that this is a time where he's sitting you down to perfect you. He's sitting you down to just recompense, to do some things to restore you. what you don't realize is that there are things that has to be cleaned out of you. Without even realizing it, sometimes you can have a bad attitude. And that's something that the Father has to correct. That's something that he has to, clean you from. Sometimes it can be that you can be unkind to others. Have you ever sat around a company of people for years and somebody always told you about yourself and it was always the same thing? It was always like, it's the way you talk, or it's the way you say things, or it's your attitude. And a lot of times we think that we can take that into our vision. We think we could take that bad attitude into our dream. But no. And these are the things that the Father must get out of you. These are the things that he's calling forth for you to surrender, for you to say, okay, Father, this is what I suffer with. It's all about taking accountability. It's all about saying, okay, you know what? I realize you ever hear you're the problem? We're always wanting to blame others. We're always wanting to say, oh yeah, I was in that relationship, and it'd be like several relationships. And each one of them keep failing. And at some point you have to know or realize that I may be the problem. There may be something about me, and that's when you have to self-examine. That's when you have to look at yourself and say, what is it that I need to correct about me? What is it that I need to take accountability for? Because I know every single relationship in my life is not just taking a turn for the worse. I have literally saw people like that literally have blamed every single situation on, this is why this relationship didn't work out. This is why this friendship didn't work out. And it will always constantly be the same thing. It will constantly be like a repetitive process. And it's like, at some point, you gotta know, like, I may be the problem. It just might be me. It just might be that something is up with me. And Father, I got to work on myself, because this ain't working. If I know that I want to be married, if I know that I want to, excel in this or succeed in that, this is something that I have to work on. I know one thing that it was with me, guys. I used to walk around, and this might be something small to somebody, but I used to walk around not smiling. But it wasn't because I was sad or anything. I was just happy. I just have that poker face. Like that. Like I have that face where it's like, I look mean. I look very, very mean. And it wasn't until I had went on this one interview, and the guy was telling me, the manager was like, can I just see that you smile all the time? Can I, like, is there and I'm like, he was like, are you sad? What's wrong? I'm like, no, I'm happy. Like, what? And that was one thing that the Father actually had to deal with me about. It's always, and I'm like, dang, that gotta hurt, Because I don't feel like always smiling at it all the time, but it doesn't mean that I'm upset. Don't mean that I'm sad. I just don't feel like smiling all the time, right? So now I constantly smile a lot, and I never knew how important that was, especially with having my handbag brand, guys. With having my handbags, like, when you're building a brand, if you're walking around and people constantly are seeing you and they're like, why she look so mean? Ain't nobody gonna want to buy from you. Anybody gonna want to, why she look so, what's wrong with her? That's what they're gonna think. But yeah, it's all about that. But guys, don't forget the things that I said about the wellness check. You guys know my podcasts are only for now like 10 minutes long, but my time is running short. But don't forget about the wellness check, and remember to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding, guys. So trust the Most High. Be blessed.